Okay, I am at MS International. We're in Atlanta. I'm with Al Pacheco, VP of Marketing. And Al, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us today here in our facility in Atlanta.
Well, thank you. I am very, very impressed. And in back of you is the warehouse with acres and acres of product and showroom right below us. Very beautiful place. Give us a little history of this organization.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, MSI is a wonderful story. Two immigrants, Manu and Rika Shah, left India and settled in Indiana. And Manu, the founder, was an engineer. He went to Purdue. He was working for International Harvester, and at the same time, his wife, Rika, with $1,000, started importing natural stone. Fast forward, 40 years later, the company decided to move to California back in the 80s. We've got 19 distribution centers. We've got over 1,200 employees. We have a BPO office in India that services our customers.
Interesting. Now, the suppliers, are they primarily from India? Or I guess that's changed over the years.
That's changed. Initially, we were importing primarily from India. Today, we import from over 35 countries, over 35,000 container loads. And our product is very diverse. We've got flooring products, whether it be porcelain, ceramic, natural stone. We're big in the countertop surfacing products, so we have natural stone countertops as well as quartz. We have a very extensive line of mosaics. And then to complement the entire assortment, we also have an entire line of landscaping or hardscaping products, pavers, stepstones, flagstone.
Now, that seems to be a really popular direction of late, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you're seeing the inside go out as well. So a lot of the products that are being used inside are also being used exterior. And what we're finding is that it's not only a product line that's being used in the Sunbelt states, the warmer states, it's starting to be used nationwide and in the Midwest and the Northeast as well.
You know, I've always been intrigued. It seems like the United States, in terms of ceramic use, is well behind almost every other country, even Canada. Mm-hmm. Do you see that changing anytime within our lifetime?
I do. I know the per capita consumption is increasing significantly. I think the technologies, the high definition print technology, has made that more realistic than ever. So we're finding consumers opting from the soft side to more of the hard side. And if you look at the Northeast, for instance, it's one of our largest segments and our largest regions. The propensity for customers and the acceptance to use natural stone, hard flooring, porcelain, ceramic has increased significantly.
So the consumer is changing its tastes, and especially, I guess, with them seeming to be disenchanted with carpet at this point.
Yeah, I think you'll see that because of the realism, the ability to simulate natural stone, because at the end of the day, we know most consumers want the real thing. But can you get the look of the real thing with low maintenance and with some of the advanced technologies in porcelain? We're seeing that. The hard flooring looks, the wood looks, the marbleized looks are better than ever. I can show you, we put a real stone next to a porcelain, and you'll have a difficult time understanding which is which.
Well, when I first heard somebody tell me at one of these shows, we're doing ceramic that looks like wood, I thought, how would that work? But now you just about have to get down on your hands and knees to see the difference.
That's right. The depth, the color, the fact that the product doesn't repeat that often. I mean, some of the products we have, they repeat every 16 tiles, which is quite large. So yeah, we're excited about the category. We're just scratching the surface. As a company, we've really diversified our product offering, our customer base. About 7 years ago, we made the decision that we had to play in 3 categories, and thankfully we did. So one was porcelain and ceramic, the other was quartz countertops, and the last one was the whole mosaic category. So if you look at the fact that a customer will redo or remodel their kitchen, backsplash tile is really been something that we're seeing them accept quite more.
I see. You had mentioned the digital printing. That's really changed everything, hasn't it, in terms of consumers likes in terms of ceramic. That's really changed everything, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so you've got, like I said earlier, you've got the wood looks. So when you can simulate a porcelain that looks like the real wood with the depth, the knot holes, the texture, the color variances, you've got a winner. The other thing that we're seeing that's been a terrific line for us is the porcelains that look like natural stone, more on the marble side. We know marble is a porous product, so when you can replicate a porcelain, enhance the maintenance, not have to worry about staining or other issues, that's a big win.
I got you.
The nice thing too, that being a natural stone company, that's where we started, we can understand what sells, what the trends are on the natural side, and then we work with our suppliers to replicate that look on the porcelain side.
I see. That's really the price of admission, knowing what sells and what doesn't sell. That's really key, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt. We, because we're a national company, we have 19 distribution centers in North America, including Toronto, which we're going to expand to more distribution centers. We have a great pulse on what sells and what sells well.
Oh, I see.
And what we're finding too is that for the longest time, the trend started in the West Coast and migrated to the East Coast. Those trends are accelerating. They're moving much quicker for a couple of reasons. One is we know customers relocate and they move to different parts of the United States. And two, because the product realism has looks so great that their acceptance has really increased.
It seems like just awareness of what designers are doing and so on with all the cable TV shows about HGTV and so on. It seems like everybody's aware of what everybody else is doing.
You're right, Dave. I'll tell you, the whole digital technology, we're just scratching the surface. So a little bit later, you'll meet with Emily Holly, our Director of Trend and Design. We as a company have invested a lot of resources to really make the digital part look much more real. Because we've all seen visualizers that don't look as real. So we're spending a lot of our resources in high definition scanning. So we take a product, it gets scanned, and then that allows, when you embed that into a visualizer, it looks a lot more real than ever. So it's not just a photography, it's digital scanning of that high definition product that allows for that realism.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You had mentioned countertops. Was that one of the more recent areas that you got involved in?
Quite the contrary. We started with natural stone. Well, the company was founded and we did monuments. So we imported monuments and then we migrated to countertops, natural stone countertops. But the recent addition, which has been explosive in the industry, is the quartz category. So about 7 years or so, we got into quartz, and that has been, it's a more of a modern look. Again, the realism of the technology, again, they're trying to simulate the natural stone looks, has allowed for that, for tremendous and explosive growth in quartz countertops.
And that's really where a lot of the growth has been then, of late, is in the countertop arena.
So if you look at the natural stone segment of the countertops, that has been relatively flat, 1 to 2% growth. The quartz side has been, double digit, the growth has been double year over year. What we are finding on the natural stone side is, again, that there's been a color preference or a shift. So what we're finding, if you think of the traditional countertops, they were the yellows, the golds, the greens, the browns, right? That has shifted to more whites, more grays, more what we call grayish, which is a combination of gray and beige, and more beige. So we have made a significant shift in our product assortment to meet what the customer's looking for these days, which are a lot of those lighter colors.
Interesting.
And that's where the growth is really coming from when you look at the countertop side on the natural stone side.
I see. Let me ask you about the channels of distribution. I mean, you're everywhere. You must deal with quite a number of different channels.
We do. So we've got 3 primary distribution channels. One is the independent retail dealer accounts. The other one is the fabricator network, which is, of course, we sell the finished slab to a fabricator that cuts it, measures, cuts, and installs on behalf of the homeowner. And then, of course, mass merchants. So we do sell some of the mass merchants. And then contractors, so we do sell some tile contractors, and then the last segment is probably the e-retailers. We do play with some e-retailers.